Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Thursday's edition of your daily workout. If you remember, this week we're talking about what clients value. So already we've looked at what we can do from a marketing perspective, what we can do from a BD perspective. How can we talk about what value we add to clients on a call with a client and in an initial pitch. What we're going to do now is I'm excited to have Renu here, who's going to talk us through. She's a specialist in assessments. So we're going to talk about what clients value from assessments and how we can use that to, of course, increase our fees and gain more engagement from our clients. So Renu, would you quickly introduce yourself, please?
Sure, John, thanks for the opportunity. Looking forward to this. I'm Renu Gundala. I'm one of the coaches at the gym, and I run my own business called Talent Grader, which is all about talent assessments. And I also run an exec search division within Talent Grader as well. So I've got two hats on, both assessments and as a recruiter as well.
Both very useful hats. So please wear both of them.
Right.
This is the great thing about the gym. We can look into a topic and then call upon some really specialist ideas. I don't know that much about assessments. I know I've talked to clients about assessment. I've talked about how we can pitch them, but Renu lives and breathes assessments. So let's get going. First of all, Renu, talk us through what insights can we as recruiters offer to our clients about our candidates. What are our clients going to value that we can tell them about our candidates?
It's a great point to discuss because as recruiters, we candidates are our products, and that's who we sell and who we talk about all the time. And it's quite important to kind of understand, what is important to our clients. And as recruiters, you will know some of the things that I'm talking about, and I'm talking about it from my experience. I would also encourage you to share your views and your thoughts on, what your clients have been valuing from your services as well. And also in terms of assessments, I'd just like to mention that I'll be talking to you today as a practitioner more than somebody who designed assessments, because that's a totally different arena. And I'm not somebody who designed assessments. I'm more of a user. So user perspective, how have I benefited and how has my clients benefited? That's what I'm going to talk about. So that being said, in terms of the insights, I think, I'm sure you'll all agree with me, is that a good point to start with our clients is to kind of understand what is the problem that we are trying to solve for them. And that's a great starting point, because that gives us an understanding about the bigger picture that the clients are working in, and the bigger picture about our services and how we incorporate that, our service and our expertise, into what problems they are trying to solve. So understanding the problem that our clients are looking to solve is really important. And then we will look at, who are our what does our talent look like? Then we will match our talent, isn't it? That's a great starting point, and that's almost like a no-brainer, and that's what our clients value. And I have been very fortunate to work with clients who have been open to giving feedback to me about how I'm working with them as well, and that has actually unraveled some things for me to work slightly differently with some of my clients, and I'm going to share a couple of things with you as well. And clients rely on our expert advice. We know what's happening in the industry, and that's what they want to hear. Or definitely, in addition to, the job that we do mainly. So what the insights, like what's happening in the industry. Have they got the salary right? Have they got the job title right? All these things, the practical things, the day-to-day things, we still need to carry on weaving into our service, definitely, and we will continue with that, no doubt. And then also being comfortable to say no once we've understood what they are trying to solve. Is that something we can actually solve? If it is something we can't solve, do we have a suggestion for them, an alternate suggestion? If not, then I think it's just good to walk away from that, isn't it? Being honest with our clients, which is a hard job to do.
You're speaking my language, though. We have to walk away. We can't just try and mold into whatever our clients want, because sometimes it's not right or we're not right. You talked about solving problems, finding out what those problems are, and that's exactly what we talked about with Christina. That's what we talked about with Kate. Find those pain points. So from an assessment point of view, can you give us the kind of top 1 or 2 pain points or problems that your clients say, yeah, this is why I need to assess my candidates?
Absolutely. In terms of candidate assessments, in my initial discussions, we all do as recruiters, don't we? Because we want to see the full process through. What does client want to do in terms of interviews, and what are the timelines? So that's at that stage. I also try and probe my clients in terms of, what do you do other than interviews to make selection decisions? And if they've said that they use something like a presentation or any other assessments, it's like, what are you trying to solve? Why do you use that? And in terms of the talent itself as well, if they're not using any assessments, just understanding, when you are interviewing your candidates, what are the qualities you're looking for? And how do you assess those qualities in the interviews? Sometimes it could just be like competency-based interviews. And do they give you all the insights you need to know for your candidates? And what we have to remember with assessments is that when we recommend assessments, once we've understood that an assessment could add value, and there are several types of assessments, just to give you a brief overview of them, something that will give candidates insights on personality, on the personality of the candidates, which is more around the business skills, the soft skills side of things, and then they could look at technical skills as well. So there are many different assessments. Once you've understood that this particular assessment could be the right for my client, it's also important to understand, will it exclude any of the talent that you have already put forward? What would that candidate experience be like? Or will they need any reasonable adjustments to do those kind of assessments? Because when we talk about assessments, I always kind of say that we need to believe in a process that works for everyone, not just for the client, but also for the candidates. So there could be assessments that could be discriminatory as well. So particular assessments might not work for some candidates that might need reasonable adjustments. Then thinking about those as well, if you don't feel comfortable, ask for advice, speak to any testing providers that you already use, understand from them, actually, will it solve this problem? My candidate is looking for leadership qualities, and I want to recommend this assessment. There are some candidates who have said they need reasonable adjustment. Can you offer that for us? And if it doesn't work, then it's best to drop that assessment. So it's not just about finding a solution, but will that solution work for both the client and the candidate is what I would say.
You talk about asking for advice. Can people approach you for advice on that?
Absolutely, yes. And as I say, as a practitioner, I have set up this website, Talent Grader Portal, to give all the information a recruiter might need to make initial decisions. And there will be some things I might not be able to advise on, and I'll put them in touch with the relevant providers. So yeah, definitely, I could be a good starting point if you have any concerns.
Brilliant. So in a second, I'll ask you for your one kind of tangible daily exercise that people can take away and do today. But just in summary, what we've talked about is find the problem that your client is trying to solve. And then when you go through their assessment process, ask them why. What are you trying to achieve? I really like that point. Okay, you're asking for an hour-long presentation in a gentle way. Why? What are you trying to achieve? Okay. Oh, you're not quite sure. Okay, I can help you there. So it may feel a little challenging, but in terms of value, you're becoming consultative. And again, if you want to be more confident in talking about assessment and the type of testing that's out there, then check out Renu or contact Renu and her website, which sounds super helpful. So Renu, your one kind of takeaway for today, what can everyone watching do in the next half hour to increase their value through assessments?
I would say there are lots of free resources available online, including Talent Grader website, and there is also very well-renowned website called BPS, British Psychological Society's website. That's a very good starting point as well to understand. And sometimes it can be really mind-boggling to understand assessments because there's a lot of technical information thrown out at you. But reading blogs and the aim of Talent Grader is to make it as simple as possible for people to understand assessments. So you could go on there to understand what are the different types of assessments, what's available. So I would say start with reading blogs. Just pick one type of assessment to learn about, or speak to someone and say, what is working for you? I work in this industry sector, and these are the jobs I recruit for. What's working for you? And yeah, that could be a good starting point.
Brilliant. Well, if you're not sure which of those to pick, go to talentgrader.com. It's in the chat. Hopefully you can see it there. And yeah, it sounds like a great starting point. Brilliant. Thank you, Renu. As I say, it's brilliant to get experts in. Yeah, for the recruiters out there, remember, there's so much to the recruitment process. You can go so deep. Don't panic. You don't have to be an expert in all of those things. You can be a broker to the experts for your clients, and that adds value. They won't even know to look at the BPS website. They won't know that Talent Grader exists. So by introducing your clients to those types of resources in assessment and in every type of the recruitment process, you're going to be adding value, even if you don't see yourself as a deep expert. So that's it. The final session for this week is tomorrow. So join me where we'll wrap all this up and start to turn value into higher fees. So hopefully that's a valuable session for you tomorrow. Renu, thank you again. Thanks for joining us, everyone. See you tomorrow.